Hello, this is an introduction to Math 1324, essentially talking about the syllabus and tools that you'll need for this course. Here are some of the specifics, which you can also find on the syllabus. That the CRN 10276, my name, Marian Alexander, the My Lab Math course ID, and of course, the first thing you have to do is to go to the Canvas page for this course, and from that page, go into the My Lab Math course. Okay, you have to go through the Canvas. All right, so first thing I recommend that you do once you're on that Canvas page is to look at the syllabus. Actually, you don't have to wait for day one of this course to do that. If you're seeing this before class starts, you can go to the Learning Web, the HCC Learning Web. Just Google that, HCC Learning Web, and there'll be a box there where you can enter a faculty name. Just enter Marian Alexander. If you don't put my first name in there with the O, then you get to look at all the Alexanders in all of HCC, and there's a lot of us. So make sure you type that in and you will get to this document, which I suggest you print out and keep in your notebook so you have it at hand all the time, because it has all the rules of the course and lots of information that you need as you go along. So you have to read this document and make sure you understand what's going on before you take the syllabus quiz, which is on your Canvas page. And once you take that and pass at 100% rate, you have the syllabus with you to help you pass that, right? Then you can go into My Lab Math, and only then will you be able to access the homework and quizzes there. You don't get credit for the course. So you have to read the syllabus and take the quiz and pass it at 100% to get started. Let me go over some things that if this was a face-to-face class, like I'm used to teaching, that I would emphasize on the first day, okay? Well, everything that's in this document, if you're looking at it online, you'll see it with the colors. Everything that's written in red is what they've asked me to add as an instructor. The blackface font is provided by the district. So, so within all the usual district policies, they've asked me to add some particular things. One thing in blue here, in the second page, is a note from the dean of the mathematics department about how we are to do testing of major exams this semester, summer 2. That will have to involve your having a functioning webcam and microphone, and a computer with an operating system that is capable of running the Respondus Lockdown browser and Respondus monitor. Now this is coming from the Dean of Mathematics, so we all have to operate by this. So you need to get working on that because your midterm and your final are going to be given to you via the Respondus Lockdown and this monitor that's going to be watching you. We're going to be recording you taking that exam and keeping your eyes on that exam and nowhere else. So make sure you read all these directions carefully. There's information from Canvas about how to get into the course and how to get into your Math Lab course from there. Here's the picture of the book, and here is the book. And back. We've been using this for a number of years, a number of semesters, so there are a lot of used copies of this thing floating around. A lot of my students turn out to be book learners, and I recommend if you find this available cheaply as a used book, that you get a hold of one, because it can help you for those times when you have to read a lot of text and read and reread to be able to understand what's going on. A lot of reading comprehension is involved in Math 1324. And so if you are a book learner at all, I would recommend that you get one. All right, so on the syllabus, you will see next to that picture the ISBN number for that book, so for getting a hold of it online. Okay, but within the MyLab Math course, where you're doing your homework and taking quizzes, there is an e-text. There is a copy of the textbook in there, so you don't have to get a hardback. Just saying, this usually comes up with some students that they prefer having that hardback copy as well as the MyLab Math online course. Alrighty, what else? Oh, you need a graphing calculator. A TI 83, 84, or 86, not the 85s for some reason. These can be really, really old, stuck in somebody's closet somewhere. They haven't used it in 20 years, and you just change the batteries and they work great. You need to have one of these because it can manipulate matrix, do matrix operations for you that definitely take down the workload in this course. There are probability distributions in here, fancy graphing techniques. You will use this in not only this course, but probably in your business calculus 1325 that comes afterwards. You do need this for this course. I require it because that way I was able to write questions that are more realistic and that assume you're getting through the grunge work of the arithmetic calculations really quickly because the calculator is doing it, and you're going on to thinking about the math theory that's underlying these applications. So you need to get a hold of one of these. Like I said, ask around, find somebody who will let you borrow it for 5 weeks, okay? And get started using it from day one on the first homework assignment in chapter 1, section 1.2. The next video is going to go over why you would need this for a section 1.2 supposedly review problem, okay? So get a hold of one of these as soon as possible. This happens a lot that I'll get some students who will say, well, I don't need a calculator. I'm used to doing stuff by hand. I can do it. That's great, except the questions I'm asking on the quizzes and tests, which are timed, require that you not only get information involving a bunch of hand calculation or the calculator, but moving on to analyzing those responses. So what I've noticed is students think a couple of things about not getting the calculator. And so let me go over, this has happened a couple semesters, maybe over the past few years. I get these kinds of issues. So somebody says, oh, but you know, there's an online version of this that you could use. Well, except you can't use that during a quiz or a test because of the lockdown browser, right? It'll boot you out of that. If you're booted out of the quizzes or tests, I don't let you back in. That means you have strayed. And so don't do that. You need to have a separate machine, okay? And you need to get used to using it. So get one soon so that when you're on your quizzes or tests, you can use this and not your phone. That, of course, is never allowed, right? Not your phone. Just use this. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, think about the phones. If we see a phone or that you're using a phone while we're monitoring you taking a test, that's cheating. That's a 0. So don't use your phone, okay? All right. Students often delay because they figure, again, they could just do this stuff by hand. And that lasts till about, I don't know, about halfway through the semester, when even my folks who know this material, have had it before, and they're just, you know, they can do quick calculations very quickly, still don't have enough time on the timed quizzes or tests. So don't put yourself in that category. Get a hold of one of these now and start working with it now. Sometimes I'll get students who halfway through then get a hold of one of these, but they're not used to using it. And so they can't finish the quizzes or tests fast enough. Get it now. Let's see. So get one, get it now. And look to the next video about section 1.2, where you can see examples of how using the graphing calculator can answer a lot of these applications of algebra problems without using too much algebra. Okay, so it's a nice backup in case you happen to not remember everything from a college algebra level course. Our textbook was written essentially, this textbook we're using is essentially an application of all that college algebra level math, right? So a lot of our students at HCC need some help, and this graphing calculator used cleverly enough can help you out in a lot of situations. Okay, all right.